Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today with my in-depth analysis for the Agility special video in the Fallout 4 special series. Now, before anything, allow me to apologize. As you can probably tell by my voice, I have just woken up. For those of you who are waiting for the analysis day of, I am quite delayed, and that's because I'm sick, and also my alarm did not go off. So I am very sorry about that, and here is the analysis finally. Anyway, we only have one special video left, and I can't believe it, man. One more. Do you guys remember when we first got that strength video? Now here we are, getting agility with the only one remaining being luck. So let's enjoy our time while it's here, baby. Let's go ahead and dive straight into agility and find out what we have learned. The first perk we learn about is Gunslinger, which is while using a pistol, your chance to hit in VATS is increased by 25%, as indicated by this video. This actually turns out to be the first ever perk we unlock, so everyone's going to have this right off the bat, which will be helpful because I'm sure one of our first weapons is most likely going to be a pistol, much like in Fallout 3 with the 10mm pistol. Also, I believe Gun Fu has tied into this part of the video. Now, for those of you wondering what Gun Fu is, if you take a look at the Bethesda.net character system article, you'll see that they talk about how Agility 10 has Gun Fu, and what it does is that your second target in VATS takes 25% more damage regardless of weapon. So perhaps they're also showing that off here as well, considering he was knocking down a bunch of ghouls with one-shots. The next thing we see is quite interesting, as we see a Vault Boy happily jogging over a bunch of frag mines, and obviously they are not blowing up, thus showing off that he has his Light Step perk. But what I want to discuss is that there is no Light Step perk in this game. Rather, it has to be a perk rank, because when you're taking a look at the Bethesda.net perk poster that they put out, you can see all the perks, and there's not one indicating Light Step at all. So I was thinking to myself, it's got to be a perk rank then, so it's got to be rolled in somewhere else. But I figured that was just a little thing worth pointing out. Now here's the part of the video where I toss some irresponsible speculation your way. In this part of the video, we see the Vault Boy hilariously dodging some bullets, but I thought a little bit deeper on it. Agility is a measure of your overall finesse and reflexes, and I connected the dots a little bit and thought to myself, perhaps this means that agility will somehow dictate how often you get hit by bullets, not in the sense where you just are invincible, but perhaps since you're a more finesse character, perhaps there's a lesser chance of you getting hit by bullets as you up your agility. Just some food for thought, but I figured it was worth pointing out as well. Getting into the good stuff here, we're learning about Sneak, which is key for player builds such as my own. You can unlock Sneak if you have at least 3 points in your agility stat. Sneak allows you to become 20% harder to detect while sneaking, and I'm sure that percentage increases as you put more perk ranks in. But what's interesting about this segment is not that they focus on Sneak and sneak attack criticals, but rather he flips off the light and then attacks his enemies, and this is something that I have been dying for in a Fallout game. I think a lot of Metro Last Light, where shooting out the lights and getting the jump on your enemy in the darkness was something you could do, and I really hope that's something that carries over into Fallout. The video also clearly states that enemies can do the same thing to you, and this really got my brain running with a ton of possibilities that I could think up. And I was thinking, perhaps this means that if an enemy detects you before you detect them, that they can get the jump on you with some stealth criticals, or that they can flip off the lights on you. A scenario I kind of thought of is that perhaps you're roaming a raider camp and they have searchlights and they turn those off, and it really kind of changes up how you're going to tackle this camp. Just an idea, but I figured that's an interesting dynamic that Bethesda's throwing in here by allowing enemies to get the stealth jump on us. Now, I don't imagine mole rats are going to be coming up out of the ground and flipping off light switches, but I imagine they can also pop up out of nowhere, as indicated by the Fallout 4 trailers we've seen, where they kind of surprise you from underground and you don't really expect much until it all of a sudden just happens. It is now time for everyone's favorite part in these videos, where we identify the additional perks here at the end, starting off with something absolutely brutal and disgusting as the Vault Boy happily shanks the life out of this guy using his Mr. Sandman perk. Mr. Sandman is when you are sneaking, it is optional to kill someone in their sleep, and so I looked at the character system video, and we find out that this perk is unlocked at Agility 4. I'm a bit surprised that this is a standout perk on its own, as I can't see a lot of people making big use of this. I imagine this would be a perk rank. After the Mr. Sandman perk is the Rapid Reload perk, as the narrator of the video says hastily reloading your firearms, and we see the Vault Boy quickly reload his weapon. Now if you don't know what Rapid Reload is, it's quite obvious, but it was a perk only in New Vegas which allowed you to reload your weapons 25% faster than normal, and also switch your ammo types 25% faster. Upon inspection of the perk poster, we do find out that you need Agility 8 to unlock Rapid Reload. And the final perk of this wonderful video is Gun Fu, which we covered earlier on. So what we're going to do now is move on to the perk poster and identify the remaining perks in our agility stat line, starting off with Agility 2, Commando. And as we learned in the character system video, Commando gives us 20% bonus damage with automatic weapons. Next, at rank 5 is Action Boy, or if you're playing as a female, I'm assuming Action Girl, which will grant you an additional amount of action points to use in VATS. Now the reason I'm not specifying that number is because in 3 and New Vegas, they were different numbers, so I'm assuming Fallout 4 will be a different one as well. Then at agility level 6 is a perk that seems to support my theory from earlier in this video on how agility may help you become a more difficult to hit target. And that seems to be exactly what this perk is indicating. It is in fact a new perk, but I wouldn't be surprised if we were on the money saying that this somehow impacts how hard it is to hit you. Next, at agility rank 7 is the return of our ninja perk, which when attacking you gain a 15% critical chance on all melee and unarmed attacks. Also, sneak attack criticals do 25% more damage than normal. These are perks right up my alley. I officially know at least the first stat that I'm going to be investing in, which is clearly agility, because it's all stealth focused, all sneak attack crit focused, and I absolutely love that. And our final perk at agility number 9 is a brand new one, but it's pretty evident what this one does, as we can see a start and finish line. I'm going to assume that this dictates your sprint speed. Now endurance dictated how long you could sprint for, but I feel agility will dictate how fast you can sprint. So that's awesome to see that we can change both those up to our playstyles. And that will conclude my in-depth analysis for agility, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. This is our longest in-depth analysis of this special video series yet, so it appears we're going to be ending this with a bang, pardon the pun. Did you guys notice anything else? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. While you're at it, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook so we can constantly interact. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.